What is happening, and welcome to Photography Talk, episode 137. Now, friends, each September, Apple introduces new iPhone models, but this year, one of its models, well, might be delayed. Now, which one? Well, you're going to find out here in a moment. Now, also in this week's episode of Photography Talk, we're also going to take a look at rumors of the new GoPro Max 2 360-degree camera. It's much needed upgrade. Now, what upgrades is this thing going to have? Well, we're going to talk about that here in a moment as well. We're also going to check in on the Leica Q3, a compact full-frame camera that should come out next year sometime and feature a 60 megapixel sensor. But before we dive into all of this fun goodness here, you friends, there is that thing called the YouTube algorithm, and every time you hit that like button or engage with our videos like this, it really does help with the whole YouTube algorithm. Well, that's what I just said. It really does. It really digs that stuff. So if you find some value with this video, friends, you would be doing us a big favor by crushing the hell out of that like button down below. That said, let's get on to this week's headlines. Now, when you think about it, new iPhones are announced each September every single year, but this year it looks like the iPhone 14 Max is going to be late to the party. Now, supply chain issues have really reportedly set production back on the phone, and not by a small margin either. Now, that would be a big problem on its own, but since the iPhone 14 Max is expected to be extremely popular, it's much more of a serious situation. Now, the 14 Max will be the 6.7-inch phone, but won't have the features or as many features as the expensive iPhone 14 Pro or the 14 Pro Max. Now, that means it's a nice blend of a bigger screen and the smaller price tag. At any rate, it seems like the production is behind enough that the 14 Max might not launch with the rest of the 14 or the iPhone 14 family in September. If that's the case, it might be weeks or hell, even months until the iPhone 14 Max is available. Now, it's all speculation at this point, of course, but additional rumors indicate that the iPhone 14 will also be much more expensive as well. Now, assumptions are that it's going to be around $100 more across the board of all the models. So, given the supply chain issues and the increased expenses of manufacturing these iPhones, it really stands to believe or stands to say that Apple will make the consumers foot the bill on this. Now, the original GoPro Max was introduced nearly 3 years ago, so it's certainly time for a refresher on this. Now, GoPro usually announces its new models in September, which is when the Hero 11 announcement is expected. So, I really wouldn't be surprised if the GoPro Max 2's announcement comes in September as well. It's kind of my 2 cents, of course. But since the GoPro Max is nearly 3 years old, it makes sense for GoPro or that it would come out with an update soon as well. I mean, after all, 360-degree camera market is much different, and it's much more competitive than it was back in 3 years ago when GoPro Max first launched in 2019. Now, in terms of what the GoPro Max 2 might have underneath the hood, there's rumors that a 12K video might be in the cards with a 4K flat video possibility as well. Now, it's reasonable to assume that GoPro Max 2 might also have 100 frames per second burst mode and improved dynamic range. But really, at the end of the day, whatever GoPro ends up putting into the Max 2, it stands to reason that it will be a huge improvement, a massive improvement over the current GoPro Max. I mean, 3 years isn't that long in the grand scheme of things, but in terms of camera technology, man, this thing is a dinosaur. Leica Q cameras are highly popular, so the upcoming Q3 is hotly anticipated among Leica fans. Now, unfortunately, though, it looks like the Q3 won't launch until sometime next year. Now, in the meantime, we can discuss the latest rumors about this camera, and one of the biggest rumors is that the Leica will implement a 60 megapixel sensor for the camera. Now, this really does make a lot of sense, given that there's already a 60 megapixel sensor in the Leica M11 flagship M camera. Now, a 2023 launch of the Q3 makes a lot of sense in terms of the timeline for the Q cameras. I mean, the Q2 was released in 2019, so again, It's been a long 3 years since a new camera was introduced in the Q lineup. Now, details about the specs and features of the Q3 are quite sparse at this point, apart from the likelihood that it will have the M11's 60 megapixel sensor. Now, there is speculation that the Q3 will have an electronic shutter capable of 1/8,000th of a second and a mechanical shutter that will be capable of 1/4,000th of a second. Now, it is also rumored that the Q3 will launch with monochrome option right out of the box, or right out of the start rather. Now, of course, time will tell if the Q3 or what features that the Q3 will have. And of course, as always, friends, we're going to keep you guys updated as we learn more about this camera. Now, remember, we have a fresh giveaway underway, and here are the 3 prizes up for the grabs. We have a Peak Design 35-liter travel duffel bag. We have a Peak Design camera strap, and of course, a $100 Amazon gift card. As always, entering the giveaway is really simple. Step 1, like this video and subscribe to our channel. Step 2, leave a comment below. In fact, the more of our videos that you watch and leave a comment on, friend, the more chances that you have to win. So get watching some of our other videos and leave some comments. Step 3, register on PhotographyTalk and introduce yourself in the forum. Now, if you happen to register on the site during one of the last giveaways, you're still eligible to win. But friend, as I keep saying over and over again, swinging by, say hello. We would love to see it. And that is it. For complete details on the giveaway, including how to register on PhotographyTalk or how to say hello in the forum, check out the description below. Good luck, and one last thing before we go turning off the cameras here. If you enjoy this sort of content, be sure to head over to PhotographyTalk, sign up for an account. It's free to do so, and it gives you access to literally thousands of photography-related articles on the site, including news about camera gear, photography tutorials, and much, much more. So take a moment, sign up for an account, and get access to material that will help you take your best shot. And friends, that is all I have here for you today. Actually, my throat is struggling to speak in front of you here today. I'm getting over the sickness. Tested positive for COVID on Monday, and happy to say I'm on the back end of it, but a sore throat snuck into the equation yesterday, and my throat is raw right now. But anyways, friends, it's that time of the video where I'm going to shut off the cameras, turn things off here. But before we do, as always, hey, if you found some value, it's that time to do all that YouTube stuff. So crush that like button, hit the subscribe button if you're currently not subscribed to the channel. And last but not least, so therefore you don't miss a single video just like the one that you just watched here, make sure you hit that bell, and YouTube will do its whole notification thing every time that we release a new video. Friends, that said, now I'm going to shut off these cameras, get out of my studio so you get out there, stay healthy, and take your best shot.